Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. Blowout is a 1981 American mystery thriller film that was written and directed by Brian De Palma. It stars John Travolta, Nancy Allen, John Lithgow, and Dennis Franz. The tagline for the film on all its advertisements is "Murder has a sound all its own." The film really is based on a 1966 film called Blow Up. This movie replaces the medium of photography with one of audio recording. De Palma says he came up with the idea for this film while he was working on his thriller from 1980 called Dressed to Kill. It was shot in the late autumn and winter of 1980 in various Philadelphia locations on a relatively substantial budget of about $18 million. The surprising thing is that it opened to very little audience interest, despite having mostly positive critical reception. The lead performances by Travolta and Allen, and the direction by De Palma, plus the visual style, were cited as the strongest points of the film. Over the years since its initial theatrical release, it has developed a status as a cult film. The storyline has a theme of an unsuspecting witness who discovers a crime that is thereby put into grave danger, but with a novel twist. Jack Terry is a master audio technician who makes his living by recording unique sounds for grade B horror movies. Late one evening, he is recording sounds for use in his movies when he hears something unexpected through his sound equipment that he catches and records. Curiosity gets the better of him when the media get involved, and he begins to unravel the pieces of a nefarious conspiracy. He struggles his best to survive his enemies and expose the truth, but he doesn't really know who he can trust. During filming, John Travolta suffered from insomnia, something terrible. His lack of sleep helped him create a very moody performance, and is why his character seems to be so downtrodden through the movie. This is really noticeable towards the end of the film. One of the craziest things that could happen to a movie happened to this one. While on the way to the airport, the driver of a van containing 2 reels of footage from the Liberty Parade sequence stopped at a Dunkin' Donuts and left the van unattended. The van was stolen while he was inside, and the footage was never seen again. The crew had to return to Philadelphia just to reshoot this entire scene. The original cinematographer was not available at that time, so they had to replace him with another. Quentin Tarantino has stated that this film is one of his favorites. In fact, Tarantino cast John Travolta in Pulp Fiction from 1994 because he liked his performance in this movie so much. This film uses what's called a split-focus lens, and that's evident in several scenes, in particular the sound recording scene and the hospital scene. The split-focus lens is attached to the main lens, and it affects only the left or right portion of the main lens's view. This changes the focal distance of part of the image, allowing objects at 2 distances, the foreground and the background, to both be in sharp focus. Al Pacino was director Palma's first choice for the role of Jack Terry. When he proved unavailable, John Travolta signed on, which prompted at least one studio executive to suggest that they cast Olivia Newton-John in the role of Sally, but De Palma refused to do this. As you might recall, she was in the film Grease from 1978 with Travolta. It's thought that the box office failure of the movie greatly damaged John Travolta's career, especially in more serious roles. Ironically, all that changed when he was cast in Pulp Fiction, and it gave his career a major comeback. The underwater components of the car crash on the bridge were shot in a huge tank in California. Nancy Allen, the girl trapped in the car, suffers from claustrophobia in real life, and she had a real hard time doing this scene. Being trapped underwater was not a comfortable fit for her. The scene where the car goes into the water required them to build a 60-foot long, 15-foot dam to make the water level high enough to achieve the shot. Shooting that scene alone took 7 days. That slasher movie sequence that is being dubbed at the beginning was shot by Garrett Brown on his invention, the Steadicam. He was so skilled at using this and so fast on his feet with this rig that the crew struggled to keep up with him, including the focus puller. When the slasher holds up the knife in front of the camera, that too is Garrett Brown holding that knife, as that was the only way that he could get the shot to work. You'll see Nancy Allen's character wearing a rabbit foot around her neck throughout the entire film. This lets you know that her character is very superstitious. This movie really evokes 2 incidents that involve the Kennedys, one being the 1963 assassination of JFK, with the photos of the accident standing in for the Zapruder film. Also hearkening back to the Kennedys is the 1969 Chappaquiddick accident that involved Ted Kennedy. Now, the beginning of the film and the end of the film shows a gorgeous blonde taking a shower while being viewed by this serial killer. That actress is Missy Cleveland. She's a model and an actress, and she's also remembered for her 1979 Playboy magazine centerfold. She was in a few movies other than this and a couple of television shows, but she became a popular guest at memorabilia and autograph signings after she left Hollywood. She eventually moved back to Mississippi, where she was from, and became a property manager there, and also became really active in the Baptist church that she attended. Sadly, on August 14th, 2001, at the age of 41, she passed away from an adverse reaction to some medicine that she was taking. She's currently buried at Lakewood Memorial Park in Jackson, Mississippi. Her role is crucial in this film because it ties the beginning and the end all together. She can't scream at all. Her cries for help are the most pathetic you've ever heard. This itself leads to an amazing twist at the end of the film. Take a look at this really good film. I think you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.